Today's Liberty Fever game and joins us now on SportsCenter alongside her dogs in the background. Apparently, they want to be in the interview as well. 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists for Caitlin Clark. This is after missing 5 games with a quad. What stood out most about Caitlin's performance yesterday?
What she declared, "We'll have everyone picking sides like it's Game 7, and someone just stole the last slice of pizza." We're diving into the tsunami, the earthquake, the Category 5 hurricane that is the Rebecca Lobo revelation. And trust me, you are not ready for this tea. All right, let's rewind the tape, shall we? Caitlin Clark, the phenom. The one, the only, the player who has basically turned every basketball court into her personal highlight reel. For months, we've been watching her, mesmerized as she bends the laws of physics and redefines what's possible on a basketball court.
What stood out most to me, Amina, was that Caitlin Clark, even being out for those 3 weeks, did something on the basketball court that I've never seen a player do in the WNBA, and that was that stretch that you were just talking about, that 38-second stretch where she came down and hit.
And what has ESPN been doing this whole time? Well, mostly, they've been acting like that one friend who discovered a band you've been obsessed with for 5 years, suddenly showing up to their concert in a custom band tee, screaming the lyrics off-key. They finally decided to wake up from their months-long nap, like a student who forgot the project was due today. Coffee breath and all, they showed up, trying to act like they were on board the whole time. Suddenly, she's not just a rookie anymore. Oh, no, no, no! Now she's the reincarnation of Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, and a little bit of Steph Curry, all mixed together with a side of disrespect-fueled vengeance. It took Clark dropping dimes, hitting logo threes from the parking lot, and dragging an entire franchise on her back like she's Frodo carrying the One Ring through Mordor before ESPN gave her more than 20 seconds at the end of a segment.
The thing that impresses me most about her is her ability to step up in big moments. When the bright lights are on, Caitlin Clark is also on. She went off last night for 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, and 7 3-pointers. Now, you guys, she had been out for over 2 weeks with a quad injury, and
even then, those 20 seconds were usually squeezed between pickleball updates and a LeBron beard analysis. You could practically see the internal conflict in the studio, the internal debate raging within their very souls. Like they wanted to give her props, they really did, but they were still recovering from their months of MVP blackout mode. Remember the whispers, the blatant disrespect, the delusional fan base narratives? Oh, they were loud, so loud. The unknowledgeable, the stupid, the disrespectful people who dared to suggest she'd tear it apart. Diana Taurasi herself, the GOAT, famously said, "This kid's in for a rude awakening. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years. She's just not built for the physicality of this league, and she's not quick enough to get away from the physicality." And suddenly they're shocked she's good?
some were wondering if she was going to have minutes restrictions, how much she was going to be playing, if she was going to be up to full speed, and she clearly was. There was a point during the game where she had 3 3-pointers in 38 seconds, and these weren't just regular old 3-pointers, these were her signature logo 3.
Shocked? As if she didn't score 40 points a game in college while being double-teamed, triple-teamed, and occasionally harassed by mascots. But now that the bandwagon is finally gloriously in motion, ESPN is scrambling to act like they built it. Oh yes, the same network that used to show Clark's highlights with the enthusiasm of someone watching paint dry now can't stop replaying her latest no-look pass like it's the Zapruder film. Did you see the spin on that? They gasp, as if it's breaking news that Caitlin Clark can ball. Newsflash, folks, this girl didn't just show up to the league. She's rewriting the broadcast script with every single game. Let's talk about her return. Caitlin Clark, out for 5 games with a quad injury. Some whispers of minutes restrictions, doubts about her speed. And what does she do? She comes back and drops 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, and a career-high 7 3-pointers. And not just any 3-pointers. These were her signature logo threes, the kind that make you question the fundamental laws of geometry. There was a point during the game, a mere 38-second stretch, where she hit 3 bomb threes. 3 in 38 seconds. Rebecca Lobo herself said she'd never seen a player do that in the WNBA. More on that bombshell later, trust me.
But today, we saw Caitlin have an unbelievable half. And a decent second half, in my opinion. Look, 6 assists. 6 assists.
In the first quarter, the New York Liberty had an 11-point lead. Indiana needed her to come out and do that, to kind of get back into the game. Her passing was on point, her scoring was electric. Steph White, her coach, even took her out a little bit more, gave her a little bit more rest than we're accustomed to seeing from Caitlin Clark. She still played 30 minutes in the game, but that she had no rust, had a performance like that, and you could see the joy on her face, especially in that interaction you saw with Breanna Stewart about how happy she was to be back on the floor. Yeah, she missed those 5 games with a quad injury, but she definitely looked like she did not miss a step at all. Clark tied her career high for three-pointers with 7, and ESPN, well, they're out here furiously revising their notes like a teacher realizing they marked the wrong student's test all semester.
This, again, did turn the ball over a little bit, which wasn't the greatest half, but 7.6 assists, 4 boards is not a bad half. Like, that's 14-12 she was on for that for the whole time. That's actually, that's not bad at all, to be honest.
The funniest part? The sudden change in tone. 1 week it was, Caitlin's adjusting to the WNBA speed. Next week, it's Caitlin Clark is the future of basketball. Oh, really? Was the future unclear when she casually broke NCAA records that had cobwebs on them, or when she drew more view? Now that Clark's highlights are raking in views, ESPN is using them like Bitcoin. Posting, reposting, remixing, and monetizing like they're trying to pay off their collective guilt. They act like they were rooting for her all along, like those guys who say they knew Bitcoin was a good investment after it hit $60,000. We see you. For Caitlin Clark, this was her first game back in 4 or 5 games after dealing with the quad injury, and she did not disappoint.
That follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid. And Diana said it best. This kid's
came out with 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, almost a triple-double, but 7 three-pointers, y'all. And she was hitting them from 40 feet. Like she was literally shooting from anywhere. And it was cashing out. In fact, at one point in time, she hit a ridiculous one that Stewie just had to throw her hands up, and they laughed all the way back down the floor because even she knew it was ridiculous. And the irony, the more ESPN tries to own the narrative, the more obvious it is that they never led the charge. They're just desperately trying to catch up to the momentum Clark created all by herself. She didn't need ESPN to become a sensation. ESPN needed her to stay relevant in the WNBA conversation, especially when every Clark game turned into a trending topic while their other coverage was pulling in views that could be counted on a parking meter. It's gotten so wild, even their social media accounts are in full Clark PR mode. A simple crossover from her now gets a 3-inch display of her and a top comment that reads, "She's her." Oh, now she's her? Interesting, because 2 weeks ago, the same accounts were posting game dunks with more enthusiasm than her 19 assists, and now the narrative is being rewritten. The tone is different, the graphics are glossier, even the lower thirds say things like record-breaking rookie instead of work in progress. ESPN's finally speaking the language fans have been shouting all season. The energy went from cautious optimism to Caitlin Clark, the messiah of the mid-range.
in for a rude awakening. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years. She's just not built for the physicality of this league. Yeah. And she's not quick enough to get away from the physical.
They're scheduling her games for primetime slots now. Gone are the random Tuesday 11 a.m. tip-offs when most people are brushing their teeth. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever hand the New York Liberty their first loss of the season. If there was any question about how Caitlin Clark was going to perform after 19 days away with the quad injury, she answered them in the first half when she had a 38-second stretch where she hit 3 deep threes. She looked everything that we've come accustomed to watching from Caitlin Clark. Whether it was scoring herself, she finished with 32 points on the day, 9 assists, a near triple-double with 8 rebounds as well. The Indiana Fever looking once again like a team that can contend for a championship, scoring 102 points against a very, very good New York Liberty. Meanwhile, every former player on air is suddenly on the "we always believed" bandwagon. They're lining up to say they saw this coming, like fortune tellers trying to cash in their predictions. But where were they when she was getting fouled into the third row with no whistle and no respect? Where were they when she was dropping double-doubles and all they could say was, "Well, it's still early"? Now it's nothing but flowers, and Clark's got a garden full of praise she didn't ask for, but absolutely earned. But the real kicker? Even now, when she's finally getting the attention she deserves, it's still coming with that ESPN spin like they discovered her. Like Clark was chilling in a cave somewhere until ESPN descended from Mount Content and brought her to the light. No, Clark is the light. She's been lighting it up. They just finally opened their eyes, squinting into the brilliance like vampires caught at sunrise.
First quarter where the New York Liberty had an 11-point lead, and Indiana needed her to come out and do that to kind of get back into the game. Her passing was on point, her scoring. Steph White took her out a little bit more, gave her a little bit more rest than we're accustomed to seeing from Caitlin Clark.
So as ESPN tries to act like this was all part of some master plan, fans everywhere are sipping tea, laughing, and watching Caitlin drop another 30-piece with the casual disdain of someone proving a point. Every three she hits now is a subtle, "I told you so," and every no-look dime is a reminder that greatness doesn't wait for your permission. It just shows up, steals the spotlight, and makes you regret ever blinking. You gotta put it in perspective, right? These girls have been grinding to grow the game of basketball in the WNBA. They've been grinding to grow the sport to the world, the viewerships. They've been grinding for all of this. And then you have this girl that comes along from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. There's going to be girls that are offended by that, and there's going to be girls that think she's got to earn it, and she doesn't deserve this early. She's handled it great. I think she's performed last year. She's performing again this year. I think she's the rightful face.
She still played 30 minutes in the game, but that she had no rust, had a performance like that, and you could see the joy on her face, especially in that interaction you saw with Breanna Stewart about how happy she was to be back on the floor.
Yeah, missed those 5 games with a quad injury, but definitely looked like she did not miss a step.
ESPN might be late to the party, but Caitlin Clark is the party. And now that they're here, they better bring snacks because she's not slowing down. She's just getting...
Fans go, you know, this is wonderful. This is great. We get to watch. We have bleacher seats here, and we get to adore these athletes. Look at Caitlin Clark, how she's kept just taken over the country, and for that matter, maybe the world.